Ram has Chevy crapping their pants with people lined up out the door. There's been 10,000 people already put their name down for the next Ram truck. On top of it, sales are up again already by over 2% from this time last year. If you looked at what we had for sales in Ram trucks a year ago, 2 years ago, it almost became a conversation about how long before they go out of business. As a matter of fact, Stellantis, under the helm of the previous CEO, Carlos Tavares, we know he was going pure electric. You want to plug everything into an electrical outlet. But the worst part is the vast majority of Ram truck owners wanted what they wanted. A V8 naturally aspirated engine that they could sink their teeth in. Something that is sturdy, like this truck I'm driving right now. My old Ram is just that engine. This has a naturally aspirated. This one's a 4.7, certainly not a Hemi. But it was a Hemi engine that went away recently. The 5.7 went away by the dodo bird about 2 years ago when they quickly replaced it with this inline Hurricane turbocharged engine. Of course, they still had their base motors, the 3.6 Pentastar, but nobody was getting excited about that. And then with Ram cranking up the prices, customers were just getting sick and tired of the brand gouging consumers. And people just felt like it used to be, a close third, but the sales were dropping off a literal cliff. But things have been changing recently. And it's not just this trajectory now that Ram has readjusted, because incoming CEO now of Ram, Tim, who's basically said, look, we're just going to get back to brass tacks. Not, I quote, that's me saying that, but ultimately he admitted that the old school Ram customers want what they want, and they want a V8 engine. So Tim announced that they're going to likely be bringing back the Hemi engine. That's right, the 5.7 liter V8 engine that many Ram truck lovers love. But see, there's a caveat here too. The problem is, this is sort of a bit of a rebound effect. Now, while you have some of the V8 lovers in Ram, they want that truck, they want that Hemi, and we've seen increased demand for it, there is a fact that you can't deny. Chevy has been struggling with their engines. That 6.2 liter engine, probably the closest thing that you would compare to a Hemi by Ram, has been plagued with engine problems. All kinds of issues with bearing problems, unfinished cranks, and of course, poor oiling. They've changed the oil plans, of course, changed the weight of the oil as part of the plan to get you through, at least to the warranty period. But a lot of people are losing faith in Chevy, GM, and the 1500s, the 6.2 liter specifically. But it's been a long time in the works, because we know their 8-speed and their 10-speed automatic transmissions have been a struggle. Whereas Ram, they've got that glorious ZF 8-speed. And we know the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission has been a workhorse, and it's actually a pretty reliable unit. So with Chevy struggling with transmission issues, with Chevy struggling with 6.2 engine failures, and they've got hundreds of thousands of recalls out right now to fix some of those engines. NHTSA says you better get it done. But the worst part is, okay, you want to go something smaller. Well, Chevy's had problems with their cylinder deactivation with their 5.3 liter engines as well. Go figure. So now what do Ram buyers do? They buy what they want, and they're waiting, and of course there's people lined up. They're saying about 10,000 people reported by Ram have now put their name on a list to get the new replacement, which is the Hemi-powered Ram. Of course, in 2026, 2027, we are likely going to see that engine return. Now, was it perfect? No. I mean, there were stories of Hemi ticks and, other kind of random anomalies, but generally, it was a pretty long-lasting engine. Even my old 4.7, the V8 naturally aspirated Ram engines were pretty stout. Yeah, they've had their ups and downs. Yeah, they tick. Yeah, they burn a little oil, but they can last hundreds of thousands of miles if you look after them. But the problem is with companies like GM and Chevy, what I'm seeing lately is they're struggling. Their 5.3s and their cylinder deactivation are taking out lifters. Their 6.2s are taking out cranks and rods. Of course, transmissions are a problem. Ford's had a few issues as well along the way, but ultimately even looking for that odd alternative, Toyota and their new 3.4 liter twin turbo V6 as sort of the outlier and the brand that everybody loves to hate, but everybody kind of goes to and doesn't admit it at the family get together in the party that they just bought a new Toyota truck. Yes, that's right. People were loving the Tundra. The Tundra had that 5.7 and it would last hundreds of thousands of miles. There's documented cases of it making over 1 million. The problem is they switched it up and they went with this new 3.4 turbo. And since then, they've been regretting it all along. There's been so many issues with catastrophic engine failures, particulate in the engines. I don't even want to begin and end where those problems start and lie. But of course, you're talking hundreds of thousands of recalls again. So herein lies, what do you buy? Ford's had their issues. Toyota's a problem. GM's struggling right now. And who wants a Turbo Max with a four-cylinder engine? Not many true truck lovers. So guess who is buying this new Ram and who's in line for the new Ram truck? Well, it's not just conventional Ram buyers. It's all truck buyers. Is it because truck buyers are looking for something that is going to last a long time, something a little simpler, and maybe something a little old school? But up to this point, Chevy was one of the only other manufacturers that had V8 engines available in their arsenal. The problem is their 6.2s and their 5.3s have been a big issue. So herein lies, what do you buy if you're looking for a full-size light-duty truck like a half-ton? Well, it looks like Ram might be the best stop. Best transmission, best interiors, and the engine they're bringing back one of their staples, the 5.7 Hemi. It's no wonder you're seeing tens of thousands of people lining up at the door. It's no wonder now, even just at the drop of a hat and the conversation announcement that they're bringing the Hemi back, that all of a sudden we're seeing this increase in sales and popularity. That's right, 2% increase since this time last year, when last year we literally thought they were going out of business. So I'd like to hear your thoughts. Where does your money go if you're looking at buying a new light-duty truck? Are you sticking around? Are you buying a Ford? Maybe a GM, take a chance with some of those big recalls? Or are you going to wait it out and get your name on that list for that new Ram? I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. But if you're buying a truck, shop around. Definitely do your homework. Check National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, or NHTSA, for the latest and greatest recalls on that particular type of truck or vehicle, because it seems like every manufacturer right now is struggling with some serious engine issues. Please be sure to give it a like, thumbs up, and hey, you know the rest. Subscribe to the channel. Hope to see each and every one of you real soon, everybody. Catch you then. Bye-bye.